Good morning. It is Wednesday, October 26th, puts us 90 days out from January 24th. We've got contracts today. So Vermont has been canceled for today. So there's no Vermont at 9 o'clock. And the menu that you got on the morning news does say Massachusetts at 10. That is a misprint. So it is Maine at 10 o'clock, New Hampshire at 11, as always. No Vermont at 9. Maine will be at 10, New Hampshire at 11. Those are both on kellertv.com, of course. And per usual, there'll be the ability to watch those in both the Portsmouth Market Center training room and the Meredith Business Center training room. So if you want to watch those with your fellow agents, you can do that. So that is 10 o'clock for Maine and 11 o'clock for New Hampshire. And that's going on later on this morning. So for the next couple of days, I think we've got three relatively important things. You've got step 2 of Bold, which is taking place in beautiful downtown Saco at the People's Choice Credit Union, and the opportunity to still attend part 1 of day 2, and that is tomorrow in Saco. And the information for Bold is online, so you can click into that. Just find someone that you know is going. If anybody is going to Bold and they're looking to bring somebody with them, that would be great, because what you can do is attend the first half of tomorrow and still get to know Todd, and then make up your mind at lunchtime if you're going to stay and lean in and do the rest of the class. That's tomorrow, step 2 of Bold for this fall session at People's Choice Credit Union in Saco. The other thing going on tomorrow, if you're in Meredith or from your couch, because we're going to do it hybrid one last time tomorrow, we've got Business Planning Clinic taking place in Meredith. And then also, if you want to, you can get a digital ticket on the Eventbrite and do it from home. Now, beyond a shadow of a doubt, do I think it's probably a little more immersive and a little more meat on the bone if you're in the classroom? Sure. If you can't get to Meredith tomorrow, please join us online. That link is right in the news as you start to scroll down below today's events into the rest of the week. Business Planning Clinic, click that. That is Meredith tomorrow. It's a full day of training. We're going to feed you at lunch. We're going to go through all 4 models. They keep talking about the 5 models because they are, considering expansion of 5th model. We'll touch on that lightly. But the 4 models, including the growth model. So it's the economic model, lead gen, budget, and the growth model, or the organizational model. And then we'll touch on expansion quickly. Then we do goal settings, and then you guys are on your way. After a full day tomorrow, are you necessarily perfectly prepared to take on 2023? Not necessarily. Are there more conversations, maybe some more long division you might need to do? Sure. Does it put you in a position to at least understand what you're missing, or understand things that you haven't thought of? Explore portions of your business that you haven't opened or uncovered yet? Yes, that's the purpose of the class. So the prerequisite is not that I don't have any business, I don't need to be in that classroom. A better understanding of the book is what you'll leave the room with. A better understanding of the blueprint for the business is what you'll leave the room with. And if you've got nothing on your calendar tomorrow because you hadn't yet signed up for Business Planning Clinic, I'm going to invite you to do that. Now, there's an email going around from the region. Just to clarify our last 2 local sessions, we will be doing one, and I feel like I keep getting these dates wrong, but I'm positive I'm right. Positive. Our next 2, you'll notice we drop them once a month throughout the fall to get you guys ready for next year. So obviously the October date tomorrow in Meredith. The link is in the news right now. We're going to have 2 more Eventbrites that are going to pop up, and these are both going to be in person only. So North Conway is going to take place on Thursday, November 17th. North Conway, Thursday, November 17th. There'll be an Eventbrite for that. It's going to be a smaller format because the space at the North Conway office, it is not Gillette Stadium. Above and beyond that, that's going to be an in-person only event. So when you see the Eventbrite, sign up for that, and we will all snuggle together in the brand new office in North Conway and take care of that Thursday, November 17th. And then our December Business Planning Clinic for our Market Center is going to be Thursday, December 15th. That is going to be, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you'll see the Eventbrite soon. It's going to be at the York Public Library. Virginia has a great relationship with our folks over there. They have a phenomenal space downstairs that they allow us to utilize. And I'm sure one of our dear friends is going to swoop in and feed you at that event as well. So that will be in person only as well. That is Thursday, December 15th. So November 17th, Thursday, is North Conway. December 15th, a Thursday, is York. And then at that point, we've done 4. So are there 2 other options? Yes. There's a possibility that I'll be heading in December to Andover to deliver this for their market center. We don't really have a final date for that yet, but I can tell you, if you're inclined, next Wednesday. So when you go into that email that just came out again yesterday from the region that Cassie sent out about all the business planning clinics, when you click into that link, it shows you the spreadsheet. You'll notice my face is going to be in Chestnut Hill next Wednesday. That's in person. Should you go, the opportunity for you to probably create a whole bunch of referral partnerships would be huge, because most of the people in the room will probably be Boston Metropolitan agents, Chestnut Hill Market Center agents, and I think there's one other market center that will be joining forces in that space. I don't know what a full room looks like for them, so I trust if you go to that Eventbrite and you grab your ticket, you should be okay. If there's any concern, I'm sure we'll hear from our dear friend Ashley down there. That's next Wednesday. So there's an opportunity, because I do appreciate that for people that are in bold, you're now waiting for Thursday, December 15th in York after graduation for your business planning clinic. So there's going to be an opportunity next Wednesday in Chestnut Hill for our bold people, and or for people that just want to travel down there. Because I don't know, if I were someone that was licensed in Massachusetts, maybe New Hampshire, maybe Maine, maybe Vermont. I don't think we have any quadruple threats yet at our market center, but I'm sure it's coming. If I was licensed in states other than Mass, and there was an opportunity to go to Massachusetts and get the agnostic class that is business planning clinic, that speaks to all faiths and businesses, yes, I'd want to be in that room, because there's a lot of people that are in the metropolitan Boston area that aren't going to make the trip to New Hampshire or Maine or Vermont. And above and beyond that, they're wise enough, hear me when I say this with love, they're wise enough to not try to skate up here and conduct business. One of the biggest disservices we can do to our clients is go, just because we have our license, and I appreciate this, just because we have our license in a state, go venture to portions of the state that we don't have a true understanding of. So the power of the size of our footprint at 463, and my ability as an agent, if I'm a Portsmouth kid, to send a referral client up to Joey and a notch above in Colebrook, because I've been there once, going back from Moose Fest, don't get me wrong. I have no natural idea what I'm doing when I get up there. I don't know the ins and outs. I'm not the friggin' mayor of town like the kids up there are with a notch above. So I would send it up there, because that's going to be the highest and best service for my people. And my people will love me for putting them in great hands with Joey and his team. So yes. Conversely, Joey and his team aren't trying to close something on the South Shore in Massachusetts. A, it's brain damage. B, traffic sucks. C, traffic sucks. D, it's brain damage. And 5, he's smarter than that. The only good thing about going into Boston, well, there's a million reasons that are good about going into Boston. For me, the best part of when I go to Boston, for maybe BC football, is coming home. Route 1 North, Kowloon. That's the best part. And that's going to close soon. So we won't even have that anymore. So next Wednesday, speaking of Boston College and Chestnut Hill, next Wednesday, I'll be at the Chestnut Hill Market Center doing business planning clinic. So an opportunity for you to do one in there. And I believe my opportunity to teach for another market center in Massachusetts, I will drop that date on Wednesday too. I will drop that date on a Wednesday as well. I believe it's going to be early December if we can make things line up. So there are a ton of opportunities to get business planning clinic under your belt. I appreciate if you've been here and you've never done it and your business is running like a top. I'm not saying that's an impossibility. My question as your coach is to ask yourself, what if I spent some time in the Red Book? What if I spent a day letting Timmy rip the meat off the bone and explain to me the 4 models so I have a better understanding? And the differentiation between your budget model and your economic model and your lead gen model. We do lead gen right before lunch just to make you lose your appetite. And then, of course, the organizational model. And the reason it's based on the Red Book, and the reason we call the Red Book the Millionaire Real Estate Agent, is the models inside of it are built on $1 million teams, right? And we mean $1 million in net. which is a lot. A million in volume, you guys do that. I appreciate that. A million in GCI, we're having a good time, right? When we get to a point where we're starting to do a million in net, that's a big model, and we use that model as our structure because most people's plans can fit inside that. We've got the pathway to have that conversation. So please do not feel like you're not tall enough for the ride. Please do not feel that you think that you have to have crushed the red book and know it inside and out, frontwards and back in order to be in the classroom tomorrow. Just please join us. The link is in the news. Also tomorrow for the commercial kids, Nathan is doing his commercial mastermind. That will be in Portsmouth in the Shark Tank. If you're asking yourself, well, last time Nate was in the Shark Tank, Timmy was in the training room doing business planning clinic. I'm going to say with love, at some frickin' point, you have to decide that you're going to do a business planning clinic. That's all. And then now I know the confliction of the person like, well, I'm in Bold and I'm a commercial agent, so I'm missing Nathan's mastermind. There'll be more. And I'm missing business planning clinic. There's one next Wednesday, and there'll be more. We have a Thursday business planning clinic after Bold graduates. We have thought this through. Trust us. And then I would say the one final thing that you guys should be focused on that's taking place Friday around the Market Center. We are doing, of course, Mark King with Wealth Building. So you'll notice the KWikStart on Fridays starts at 8:22. James Shaw usually wraps up at 8:22. I will be off campus up north, helping some brethren up north. So Zoe will jump on at 8:22 and do a Friday quick start. Or somebody will, actually, because Zoe's off campus, I believe. And then the very next thing after that is Mark King is going to be doing Wealth Building 2.0. That's 8:30 on Fridays. You can join the Facebook group. You can watch it from your house. You can come in. We're going to do a watch party every Friday at both the Meredith Business Center and the Portsmouth Market Center. And you guys at your other varied offices can start to do watch parties as well. You guys invariably made an inordinate amount of money over the past 24 to 28 months. It's been a good run, yes, and it's not over yet. We are experiencing a fluctuation in the marketplace for sure. The money that you guys created and the wealth you're starting to build, we want to make sure people are exposed to the conversation with Mark King. As he said when he was in Somerville on September 1st, he's not president of the company. Gary didn't identify him as somebody who was presidential material for the entire company because he was rich. He identified what he did to build wealth. And I think, that happens a lot. You see a lot of, I'm watching CNBC right now, and they just keep throwing up CEOs. And who knows what the pedigree of some of these guys and girls are. Who knows? Mark King is wildly transparent. He has told his story. Family reunion last year. Gary actually took the opportunity to share with us. There's a process within career visioning. There's a class that you're going to hear about. We'll talk about it during Business Planning Clinic tomorrow, shameless plug. When we get into the organizational model, when you guys start to hire, when you hit critical mass as an agent, you get to a point where you start to hire, and one of the triumvirate of classes that we have you go through to prepare you to build your businesses logically is the first class is called Career Visioning. It helps you better understand the usage of the KPA, which we administer to everyone as they get here. So they have a better understanding of their strengths and opportunities for growth. One of the things during career visioning, the process of going through the validation of someone's KPA, Keller Personality Assessment, is getting their life story. We used to call it getting the book. It's called getting their life story. And you start, as Zoe and I do when we meet you guys for the first time here, get me from high school graduation to this conversation, which we do it in a very abbreviated format, but we start to understand how you're wired. So they did the getting the book or getting the life story with Mark King, and Gary did it, and it was probably about 45 minutes. They did an abbreviated version because it can take a lot longer. And what you do, what you're able to extract out of that conversation is what's most important to people. And either, honestly, a history of success or a history of blame. And whether people take extreme ownership or sit in victimhood. And he told his story, and one of the most telling things that Mark King talked about was he was convinced when he was younger that his mom took him camping all the time. What he realized when he was older is they weren't camping, they were living in their car. So he has come from abject poverty to immense wealth building mindset, and the ability to share his story, be very transparent, and just want that for you guys. So he does this Central Time, 7:30 every Friday. I say every Friday. Last Friday he actually canceled, which they normally never do, because even when they visited Florida after the storms, he was out there with his iPhone like a roving reporter. So I'm not quite sure why Friday didn't happen. It doesn't matter. It's happening tomorrow. It's 8:30 Eastern every Friday, and we want to make sure you guys never miss that, because we want to make sure you guys are taking the money that you are amassing with the deals that you're doing, and you are getting, your dues paid. You're paying your taxes quarterly. You are eroding any debt you might have and starting to make your money work for you. I think there's a generation of us that grew up around maybe family members that came out of a history of just understanding that you didn't. I know I did. My dad talked about my paternal grandmother on Saturdays would just like clean out the fridge. And not clean out the fridge like Windex and wash the shelves, but Saturday was whatever was left over. That was going to be like the hodgepodge meal, like a charcuterie of whatever the hell was still in the fridge. And my parents still behaved in that because they came from a generation that went through the Depression. And like we still have a family meal. This is probably going to gross people out. I hope I don't ruin your breakfast. We still have a family meal that comes from my maternal grandmother. I think actually her mom, like shells or elbows, like macaroni and tomato soup, like tomato soup, cream of tomato soup. So Campbell's tomato soup with milk and then pasta and then mixed with grated cheese. And my boys love it. And clearly I love it. Built by pasta. Anyway, my point being, we came from those generations. We came from people that saved and then, and conversely spent, as opposed to, build and invest. So I want you guys to start to think that way. Mark does as well. When it comes to your time and your money, the two streams of revenue, think about it. When your loved ones think about you getting home, they want two things. They want your time, and they're hoping that you're coming home with more money. All the time mom and dad spend away, right? When you're getting home. And I mean mom and dad if you have a dog, a cat, or short people at home. When mom and dad get home, are they going to spend time with me? And are they bringing home opportunity? And when we say opportunity, we mean, obviously, finances. None of us are driving away from our families. None of us are driving away from our families to be like, how could I possibly waste some time today? Because I want to make sure all the minutes away from my family are useless. Now, we're all here for one thing. Say it with me. Profitability. So you guys can take that home and invest it for the next generation. Invest it back into yourselves. And to make sure that when you do have the time to spend with your loved ones, when you do have the time to spend with yourself, that you can invest in you, that you have, let's just call it like fun coupons, right? Do you have money? So you can go do things you want to do, because I think most of us, we've always said this about our parents. I think we all get to a certain age with your parents. And when you're a kid, you don't know what to buy your parents. And then when you're older, what the hell do you buy your parents? I think as parents, I think as agents at this company, we want to create experiences for our clients. And I think we all want to have enough passive income and enough financial security that we can create experiences for our loved ones. It's not like your kids are going to love the Nike sneakers. Your kids are going to love the video game consoles. Your kids are going to love X, Y, and Z. Like there are certain consumer goods that you're going to get them. They've wanted it. It's very exciting. But think about the way you feel. And I know most people might feel this way. I'm not trying to tell people how to feel. Never going to do that. I think, and I certainly feel on certain December 26th or later in the day on December 25th, or if you celebrate Hanukkah for our Yiddish brethren, maybe it's 8 crazy nights with Adam Sandler. After the gift giving is over, There's a lot of wrapping paper. There's a lot of open boxes. There's a lot of toys. And just, it was the act of giving. It was the experience of them opening. And after that, it's just more stuff in your house. So if we can become the market center, if we can become the agents, if we can become the group of people that are worried about creating experiences for both our clients and our kids, we can create greater experiences when we have the fun coupons, when we have more opportunity coming home. And that starts with our activities today. And whether we're going to invest our time and invest our money or spend our time and inherently waste our money. Your loved ones want you home faster with more opportunity. How do we do that today? If we can help with that, if we can get you into your genius zone and away from the paperwork, because that's pulling you out of your one thing, your highest and best use is to talk to more people, to create more opportunities, to uncover more awesomeness for your people. You should be talking to Jason Houle. He's available at fulcrumts.com, FULCRUMTS.com. Fulcrum Transactional Services, okay? And he can take the contract to close off your desk. Now, invariably, he's not going to do all the things. There are going to be a conversation you're going to have with Jason. He'll explain what he can do and can't do for you, and you're working with him to expedite the process. He's doing most of the heavy lifting, but you as the agent of designation have to be involved, and he can explain that to you. Above and beyond that, if we can help, if you have a question for the tech queen, Melissa Burke, it is melissa.burke, B-U-R-K-E, melissa.burke at KWCLM.com. If you have a question for your brokers, they're going to be in contracts starting at 10 with Maine and 11 with New Hampshire. So if you want to jump into that, that is at kellertv.com. If you have a question for them, it's broker at KWCLM.com. And if we can help, please reach out. Book some time. It is meetwithcoach.com for my face, meetwithcoach.com. Questions, comments, concerns, hopes and dreams, or just some help with a script, it is 603-834-2856. We'll see you in and around the Market Center. Please scroll down in the morning news and get your face into Meredith tomorrow. It's a hybrid experience. You can be in the building in Meredith. It's 9 to 5, or you can be on screen with us. Business Planning Clinic, so you can take one day with me tomorrow to plan your next year. It's wildly important. We appreciate you being in business with us. We value you choosing us every day, and we just need you to lean in.